Going on, you freaks? It's your boy Johnny, back at it again. So today I want to give you a solid review on the Gearlab Kalleq. I bought this paddle in 2022. So I've had it for a couple years. I've done everything from tour with it, use it in my pool sessions, rowing, rescue classes, all the above. So I got a lot of miles on it. Some people might be interested in this. Maybe, maybe not. If you're interested in a Greenland style paddle, I'll give you the specs on this one. This company offers a few different kinds of paddles, a few different styles and of materials. I'm not really going to go into detail of them. I'll go into detail about this one in particular, and it might be the right stick for you, or it might be something else. If you're seriously considering one of these, check down in the comments. There's a little promo code down there. They give you a couple bucks off. I'm trying to get one of their other paddles for review, so it would help me out a little bit, and it'll save you a couple bucks. So click the link, enter my promo code. You'll see it down there in the description. But you don't like or subscribe. It's fine. Next time you go out kayaking, you're going to break your paddle, and then you'll have to get one of these. For the record, this paddle was purchased with my very own money. I think I did get a slight discount from Gearlab for it. I'm not getting paid to say anything good or bad about this. I'm just giving you my personal preference, my 2 cents. You can argue however you want to argue. And that's all I got to say about that. So, some key features of this blade is, number one, very lightweight build, full carbon, and relatively 650 grams. If you're counting those grams like you gram counters do, that's in the light end of the highest end of paddles. And these are right up there with it. I mean, you can take a look. Definitely has some wear and tear to these things. I don't know how many miles I've got on it. Over 300 easy. Maybe even closer to 400. This paddle features what they call a diamond joint. So you see there's a square on the end of the shaft that actually locks together. And even after having about 300 miles on this paddle, there's a little play this way, side to side, but up and down, I get some flex in the carbon fiber, but I don't get any play in that joint. There's a little separation in there. I mean, I'm gonna have to get you a real mile count on how many miles I actually got on this. I'm thinking over in between 3 to 350. So one thing I enjoy about this paddle is it's got a really nice smooth tip. The thinness of this blade makes it really fluid in the water. Excellent paddles for rolling because there's a little less resistance under there with a nice thin blade like that. When you get a big Euro blade, and you get underneath capsized, it's a little bit to work it around and kind of get it into position for your setup, for your roll. But these are relatively smooth underwater, and even somebody that's a beginner with very little technique, with probably just a couple YouTube videos, can figure out how to use one of these fairly efficiently. The stroke's a little bit different. It comes closer to the hip when you push. So with the design of these style of blades, they'll give you a little less flutter in the water. You might have felt that before when you were paddling, a little flutter kind of in the blade. Some of the poor designed kayak blades have a little more of it. It depends on the brand and your paddle technique and things like that. But this design's supposed to reduce flutter. Does it flutter a little bit? I get a little bit of flutter out of it. The Greenland blade is actually meant to be like tilted slightly forward for your catching and your propulsion factor. So on occasion, if you're not using proper technique, you can get a little bit of flutter in there, and it's mostly from overpowering the stroke. The tips on these are replaceable. This set came with another pair of tips. Haven't put them on yet because you're not supposed to push off of rocks. Do as I say, not as I do. But I do, and they're fine for right now. The one cool thing about a Greenland style paddle is the blade entry is silent, so it makes your paddle very quiet. You know, you don't have a big power-faced blade pushing water. You have a quick entry with your stroke and propulsion, and it's relatively silent. And when you're paddling with the Greenland paddle correctly, it will be virtually quiet. You'll hear some waves against your hull, but you won't hear the whoosh, whoosh, you know, that you get with a normal style Euro blade. So, pretty cool for sneaking up on wildlife. You photographers out there, I know you're there. I know you shoot with your canoe or your kayak. Haven't tried this in the canoe yet, but I think I want to. In the solo. So these paddles are also good for individuals that might have a shoulder condition. Greenland paddles have a little bit of a lower impact on the actual body. It's a little easier on your joints because your wrist is in a more natural position. Because when you hold the blade, you can see that it's oval. So that puts your hand in a natural position. Instead of grabbing a shaft of a paddle, it's circular. Yeah, these paddles are really good for people with joint pain or fatigue or people touring. These are great in the surf also, if you do any surfing with these. Quite fun. Everybody always says like, oh, you know, it's thinner, it's not as powerful, but actually when you put the blades up against each other and do your mathematics and calculate the fin area, it's relatively the same size as a Euro blade. So yeah, at this price point, I forget what these are selling for now, under $500 if I'm not mistaken. The pros and cons would be lightweight. I mean, I put this one through the ringer and it's durable. Not saying that I won't break this eventually, because I break everything. It's really comfortable. I like that there's not, it's all completely smooth and uniform. It makes it easy to slide in your hands when you're doing rolling for extended paddle rolls and things like that. The other thing is when you have like an Aleutian style blade that has like the hump you see kind of built in it where the top of the blade's thicker and you kind of grip right there. You can't really get your paddler's box to find the correct paddling placement. But with this one you can, you know, there's some room for error in here, which is good. These are, Craftsman on it's excellent. I'm happy with it, and even with like that little tiny bit of, I wouldn't even say it's play, it's fit. That doesn't bother me. It's never felt like, you know, it's loose, and after 300 plus miles with it, you know, you would think it'd be worn in pretty well. I haven't seen any wear on the ferrules or anything on the inside to note that it was wearing, you know, quicker or less quick than other paddles. These things pack down pretty easily. It's the same size as basically a normal Euro blade. It fits in a normal paddle bag, and this one's a 220. So if you're not sure if you want a touring blade, you could probably go with the longer one if you think you're just going to be distance paddling. If you're doing any kind of high angle stuff, you probably want to come down a little shorter, you know, 220, or I think they make this in a 210 also, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely something that's high performance. I'm trying to get Gearlab to send me an iPick, but they won't. So if anybody out there's got an iPick I can demo, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe, because that keeps me doing something. Yeah, if you think you're interested in one of these Gearlab Outdoors, there's a little link in the bio. It's got a link to their page, and I got a promo code down there. It'll save you a couple bucks. But that's it. Hey, happy paddling. Happy paddling. Check you later.